Hello and welcome back to the second part of the tutorial series Responsive Layout with WebIQ. So we continue where we left off in the previous tutorial by adding some content to the content container. For this we will be using a panel. So open the widget list, click on Panel and then select a swipe panel. Now drag this into the content and you see once again that the width is automatically set to 100%, but the height has to be set once again. So we head over to the Style tab and set the height to 100% as we have done before with the container. And the swipe panel allows us to have multiple views where we can switch between using either our mouse or on the touch panel our finger. So now we are going to add two views to our app, one for the home view and one for the settings view. Okay, to enter the panel and to edit its contents, we click on the Enter button. You immediately notice that the hierarchy has changed and now only contains a view. This is because when entering any panel, only the contents inside the panel are shown here. You also notice that we have two close buttons and we also have two arrow buttons, which indicate that by clicking on these buttons you are taken to the level above. So let's now go back to the view. If I click on any of the close buttons, I'm taken back as well. The difference is that when I have nested panels, so I could have, for example, a swipe panel inside a tab panel, by clicking on the arrow, I'm taken back only one level above, whereas if I click on the close button, I'm taken back to my complete hierarchy view of my app. As you see, this view is named View, and if you click on Config, you see that this is a view as well, and you cannot configure much. It is highly recommended to add a container below the view and put all of the widgets into that container instead of into the view. So we open the widget list, click on Layout Container, and this time we drag a vertical flex container into the view. And you see that the container has 100% width and we have to set the height manually again. Okay, now we want to add a header to our view so that the user knows which page he is on. So you open the widget list, click on Widgets and drag a text widget into the container. And you see the default text here and we want to change that in the config panel to Home. Now we go to the Style tab and scroll down to IQ Styling. This time we click on the selector box here and select Value. Now we can configure the typography settings like the font face, font style, alignment and font color. The widget box on the other hand contains styling options for the box that surrounds the text. So as a font face we select Roboto Bold and set the font size to 40 pixels. And we also center the text. Now we add another view. For this, I click on the Add button, which adds another view. You see that this now says 1 of 2 instead of 1 of 1, and if I click on the arrows, I'm taken to the second view and back to the first view. You also notice the indicator at the bottom showing which page we are currently on. You also see this select box that shows the names of the views. So I can also use these to switch between the views. However, these names are not really helpful, so let's change them. So as the first view, we have the home view. So let's rename it to Home. And the second view should be named Settings. Now if we switch to the settings view, we see the change here as well. Okay, now as the settings page is still empty, we want to have the same structure as in the home view. So we click on Container, right-click and select Copy. Now we change the view to the Settings view, click on Settings, which is the view, right-click and select Paste. So this way we did not have to repeat the other steps. Let's now change the text to Settings. And now it's time to test it. Click on Save and open the preview. And you can now swipe using your mouse, or on the touch panel you could use your finger, between the two panels. However, if we are on the settings screen, we would like to go back to the home screen whenever we click on that button. So close the preview again, go back, select the home button, scroll down until we see UI action on click. A UI action is a functionality of WebIQ that allows you to perform certain changes in the user interface, for example showing a dialog, logging out a user or switching views in panel widgets. We will now use a UI action to switch the view to the home view whenever the user clicks on the home button. So we now click on Action and scroll down until we see Set View. Click on Set View, click on the plus button because we can have multiple actions per on-click action here. Click on Set View to open it, and now we select the panel which we want to use. In this case we only have one. We select it, and now we can select the panel we want to switch to whenever the user clicks on the button. In this case we want to use the home screen. And that's basically all. If we now save again, open the preview, and go to the settings view and click on the home button, we are taken to the home page automatically. And this concludes this tutorial. So I recommend that you repeat this with the tab panel as an exercise to get to know the panels in WebIQ better. We hope that this tutorial was helpful and see you in the next tutorial.